Morning folks, Brian here, Geomagnetic Earth Watch, Thursday, June 26, 2025. This is a report on that deep earthquake off the coast of Brazil. I will give you my explanation what I believe is happening. So as reported, and this is reported from the Brazilian Seismic Agency. I have this information on 2 of my earthquake apps. Please remember, there's at least 47 reporting agencies. So this is a 4.0 at a 432 kilometer deep earthquake. I will explain. First, let's go to Google Earth and I will pinpoint this location for you. So off of here. So our earthquake is right here. Which is give me a moment. It's right here. Which is about 564 kilometers away from the Mid-Atlantic Ridge Fracture Zone, the closest point, maybe even 547 kilometers away approximately, the epicenter of the earthquake. So let me explain what's there. This is a map of the global hotspots, mantle plumes. This is the Fernando hotspot right here, right at the epicenter of our earthquake. These chain of volcanic islands. Now, something has to feed a chain of volcanic islands, obviously a hot spot. This is very, very easy to figure out, folks. We have a deep earthquake right here. We have a chain of volcanic islands. A quick little Google research. Of course, I have a lot of these committed to memory anyway. Again, the Fernando hotspot on the Fernando de Noronha Island chain. I'll throw in this link for your reading. So let me explain what I believe is happening. I've already showed you. These things are actually expected now. So it is understood that there is an electromagnetic connection between Earth and the rest of the planets and the incoming systems, cell. So you're going to have the gravitational pull influence, Earth wobble, and you're going to have a electromagnetic connection, which is what's causing the geomagnetic excursion. So once again, we have the mantle plumes, which are anchored to the outer core of the planet where the magnetic field is generated from. Now, the mantle plume tail, which comes to the underside of the lithosphere and creates a mantle plume head, which can be thousands of kilometers in diameter. I believe that it has branches, arms, nodes, pushing underneath the lithosphere in which the crust and the oceans sit upon. You also hear a term called lithospheric melting because of the rising heat. There's something called the mantle transition zone, the transition between the two mantles, which is between 410 and 660 kilometers deep. Let's say it's right here. And this is where a lot of our earthquakes commonly occur. So the earthquakes have been changing. It started about 2 years ago. First, earthquakes happening where they normally don't happen for the past couple of years. Second, deep earthquakes where we never had deep earthquakes before. There are set locations, 5 or 6 locations on our planet where you always have deep earthquakes, like below Fiji, for example. But now they're happening everywhere. I'll give you an example. 15 months ago, below Central America, in a 24 to 36 hour period, there were 13 deep earthquakes between Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, Yucatan, Mexico. Never seen that before. And deep earthquakes other places. Third, deep earthquakes no longer result in larger, shallower earthquakes. I challenge anybody to show me over the last 100 deep earthquakes a larger, shallower earthquake. It doesn't happen anymore. Nor does the energy wave follow those little red arrows around. And that frustrates one particular person. That's why he doesn't do the earthquake forecasting anymore, because he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the something that he was plagiarizing somebody else's work. Doesn't happen anymore because of the changes going on inside of our planet. Now, this of course goes along with what Jesus said to his apostles. At a time of the wars and the rumors of wars, and you heard this speech so many times, and the nations rising against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms, so too there's going to be great earthquakes in diverse places. Now, if we're going to go back to that hotspot map I showed you, for me, it took me 30 seconds to figure it out. Some of you can do it too. You see a deep earthquake below a chain of volcanic islands? Just confirm that there's a hot spot right there. Now there's hot spots that we know of all over the place, everywhere. So if you're going to have an interaction in the outer core from an electromagnetic connection from the incoming systems, all that energy coming in, the great Chilean scientist Carlos Ferrada also points this out, the rarefied radiation coming in. The radiation coming in from the brown dwarf, Herculebus. It's not just the sun. So if you have that induced cosmic radiation coming into the outer core expansion, that expansion is going to be exhibited up through the mantle plumes. I will try and find the time later this evening to go into greater detail, but a number of questions have been asking me, oh, Brian, what do you think is happening? I just finished telling you. Now, so far, 2 of my earthquake reporting apps have reported that earthquake. Remember, on one of my apps alone, my main one, it accounts for 47 seismic reporting agencies. And the one that I initially showed you was from the Brazilian seismic network. If something happens in a location where they normally don't happen, other ones, the ones are least trustful, like USGS, well, maybe we shouldn't put that there. No, people are going to start asking questions. So that's it for now, folks. What I'm pretty damn sure is what triggered that earthquake. It's at a known location for a hotspot. Like I said, later on this evening, I'll try and devote some more time. We'll go through the global hotspot map, and we'll do a little bit of education talk. That is all, as you were.